The sky is just too pretty this morning to not tape over here. This is going to be our barn eventually. I probably mentioned that, but it's actually a greenhouse, half of a greenhouse. And the intention when we put it up was this would be the pig barn, and the other half would be for sheep or some other milking animal. And I don't know, we'll see when we get there. We have another one for vegetables and everything, and we need to get that in the ground and get the plastic up so we can start spring planting soon, which is kind of exciting. Looking forward to that. My husband was wonderful this morning. I did all the chores except for the pigs. But that means I still get to come out and be in nature and kind of just take a breath before starting the day. And I really like and enjoy that, especially when it's a beautiful morning like this. So the pigs are eating. The cat's watching me. What are you doing? And there's a beautiful sunrise and half moon, and everything's right with the world. At least for me today. So I thought I would talk a little bit today about honoring ourselves. And sometimes I feel like it's a really hard thing to do. We have friends or parents or partners or children, and they all make different demands on us. Even, the etiquette at the grocery store that you're supposed to follow, right? There's all these things that are imposed on us. And we can look at them like, I have to do them. They're part of things. The idea of a mental health day is kind of foo-foo or whatever. And it's really important if you're having that off day to be able to honor that and listen to your inner resonance. And whether it's talking to friends, whether it's going out with them, whether it's just needing a break and saying, hey, I need to meditate. Can you watch the kids? Usually there's a reason we need those moments of silence. And it's really important to honor that. And I think we're taught not to. That you have to keep doing and trying and going for other people. I think a lot of people have a hard time taking those breaks and taking that rest. They feel this fundamental need to always be busy. And even sitting outside in nature, they feel like they should be doing something, when maybe all you need to be doing is listening to the birds and the other animals. Honoring yourself is a big, hard step. I felt like I was doing my personal and a lot of inner growth. I kind of sequestered myself alone, and there's a car coming. Hold on. It's further down than I guess I thought it was. It's a big loud one though. I felt like I needed to be alone a lot and dig into me. And that was hard but necessary. And even now, I can feel when I'm getting close to a time like that where I just, kind of just need to be alone. And that's really hard with kids. I am very grateful to have support from my family to kind of help with that. And I try to make sure that the other people in my family that help to balance that out, for me, that they get that time too. And their time might not look the same as what I do with my time, but it's still important nonetheless. And when you go in and you start to honor yourself, whether it's that alone time or anything, I think you start to listen to your inner voice more. Some people would say that's your connection to higher self. Some people just say it's your soul, your resonance. And it really doesn't matter what it is, your gut. But it makes it easier to listen, and I think you kind of need everything to be quiet and settled to do that. So if your inner self is saying, I need to sit alone drinking coffee and just assessing things, you need to honor that. If it's saying, oh my God, it's a gorgeous day and I need to get out of the house with my kids and take them to a park, you honor that. If it's, I haven't been out in nature and I just need to walk around barefoot and feel the grass on my feet, then you do that. And it doesn't matter if it's February and anybody else would think that's crazy. If that's what you need, that's what you need to do. I mean, you obviously have your obligations, but you need to set up support for yourself to do that. And there's some points as a mom where those kind of moments would be in the evening after my kids went to bed. Or it may be early in the morning, getting up before everybody else, just so that I could have that peace. And I feel like it's only in the last couple of years that I knew more what to do at that time, but that was still guiding me and getting me ready for now. Honoring yourself when you hear that voice saying to go do and try something that's you're scared to. Going, what if I fail? What if I fail? What if you succeed? And that kind of goes back to what we talked about yesterday in perspective. But I think honoring yourself is a big piece of that too. If you're being called or driven to do something, it doesn't matter what anybody else says or thinks. And far too often we let other people decide things about our life that are kind of big, momentous things. And why? They don't have to live with the results. So I think those smaller moments of honoring yourself lead to bigger moments of honoring yourself. It's suddenly like somebody turned the lights on, it's so bright. So what can you do to honor yourself today? Does that mean being alone? Maybe it doesn't. For me this morning, honoring myself and my role as a mother was putting my phone down and snuggling with my two babies and just kissing them on the head and enjoying the moment of them being little, because it's not going to last very long. And what honoring you looks like is not what honoring someone else does to honor themselves, and that's okay. And sometimes there's similarities. I think there's a lot of moms and dads probably too that can understand sitting there with a cup of coffee and just silence in the house and enjoying that. But that doesn't have to be what it is for you either. You could be walking outside at sunrise and enjoying the beauty of the early morning, hearing the birds tweet. There's a big difference between honoring yourself and your ego. Usually honoring yourself is just a quick decision. It's not, you don't even have to think about it. And your ego will try to work around and justify, you need to do this, you need to do that. What about this? What about that? It's always second guessing. And when you're honoring your true self, I find that it just flows out of you and there's no second guessing. Now your ego might try to come in and second guess. Like especially if it's a business decision or big life decision. Oh, you're gonna fail. You're gonna, what a waste of time. What a waste of money. It's probably not gonna work out. But then there'll be this deep knowingness that just says, jump. When you honor yourself in those little moments throughout the day, when those big moments come, when it says to jump, and you're like, oh, but then you're kind of like, okay, and you jump. And sometimes you fly immediately. And sometimes you start to fall what you think is falling, and then you soar. I don't think I've had something that when I look back and I reflect in the moments where I was really honoring myself, go, that didn't work out at all. And when I look at it that way and I look back, it's always worked out in my favor. There's been times it sucked, and I go, why is this happening? But then when I look back for the big picture, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's why that happened, and that's why that happened, and then that, and it all led up to here. That's amazing. And it's because I listened to myself. I didn't necessarily do what XYZ and everybody else is supposed to do. So I guess the big question for the day, and maybe for the week and the month and the year, is, can you honor yourself? Can you find the little ways to honor yourself? And then the big ways? Can you push past fear? Can you push past your ego and come back to knowing and flow? Well, this is way longer than I thought it was, but you got to see a beautiful sunrise. And I hope a little self-reflection on doing what's right and best for you. Honoring yourself is a hard thing to do because I think it also means loving yourself. And many of us don't love ourselves. But honoring that inner voice can be a good first step. And then I think self-love comes. And maybe for other people it would be in reverse, and that's okay. There's no, my journey is not going to be your journey, and your journey is not going to be mine. But we can encourage each other along the way. So I hope you have a wonderful, spectacular day. I hope you take some moments to honor yourself, listen to yourself, whether they're big moments, small moments, or everything in between. I'm going to leave you with the sunrise here. Because gosh, that's amazing. It's beautiful. Have a wonderful day.